I'm actually gonna need the coffee today. I've talked about a lot of YouTubers in the past, but most of them have been current, up-to-date YouTubers. But this is one which is definitely a very unfortunate stance of very much someone who's being led on in the worst direction possible, and that is the Shadow Wolf, aka Mr. Metal Doggo or Mr. Metal Canine. Let's start the video. Now, Mr. Metal Canine, or I'm just gonna call him Joseph because that's actually his real name. Joseph is a 25-year-old transgender guy. I don't want to even say makes content anymore because they haven't been posting content for a very, very long time, who believes he's a wolf or a dog or some sort. And people are gonna ask me, Ethan, isn't he a furry then? If I bring up the screenshot right here, male and a dog, not a human at all, and it's a he, him too. There's actually another line that's also involved within the channel as well that basically explicitly says that he's not a furry. Either he's committing to the furry bit way too much or he's mentally ill. I'm probably saying that way too quickly, am I? But I guess I could probably give some details in the Shadow Dog. First things first is that both me and Party Planner Preston both had interactions between the Mr. Metal Canine, and I mean my interactions basically, just to kind of give a best case scenario of what you could expect, is somebody who not only is very sympathetically energized, which means that they're basically begging for sympathy, but if you even do something as minor as accidentally getting the gender wrong, they will block you in an instant. That's just my experience though. That's my experience where I've had many moments where he's been like, oh, I guess you don't like me anymore. I guess you don't love me anymore. And so, take note, we were only so-and-so friends. But Party Planner Preston,
I have graduated high school. Yay! Poppy, celebrate with me. But I seriously want to thank Sir Ace, Mr. Metal Dog, or whoever I can call him as.
My best friend of 7 years has had to deal with his bullshit for a very, very long time. The one thing about Mr. Metal Canine is that he's also very much autistic too, which is actually a massive deal for the fact that he got his own news article 5 years ago after a customer where he was working at so-and-so made him upset
about a local 18-year-old with autism.
He had just gotten a job at an East Bay grocery store, and he says a customer bullied him to tears. Tonight, he's sticking up for other workers, those with disabilities, asking customers to be patient.
18-year-old Joseph Laban has autism, but he doesn't use that as an excuse and says he is trying.
A customer asked me to get another frozen item from the frozen aisle, and I didn't know where it was, and I asked another worker to help her out, and then she was all like, you need to hire somebody that knows where stuff is. I'm sticking up for those workers that have been bullied by customers.
Oh yeah, protecting your co-workers. But meanwhile you're basically sympathy begging for. He is also a bit of a Luna simp, which basically means has-been hotel or hell of a boss, but I mean he's posted some not safe for work content, so. But that's the least of the issues. There's a dedicated subreddit dedicated for Mr. Metal Canine. There's a lot of cases of a lot of Redditors on this Reddit community posting about how basically they went with the same sympathy baiting as he would always do. Not just between texts either. He would also go and take it to Facebook and Twitter to sympathy bait. Yes, there's a lot of sympathy baiting involved, but there's actually a lot more deeper, especially with his family, which I do hope that if his mother does get in contact through this video or some sort, I will pin the comment that they do comment in the comments below if they actually do get in contact with me, because they've commented on many other people's videos before. The first thing which I should absolutely bring up in this whole thing with the family is, well, they've been trying to get mental help for Joseph for years on end, and apparently this has apparently lasted after high school. This was something that kind of, I don't know how far it actually started for. I think it could start something in childhood, but then it still continued on after they said it would grow out of it. It's actually gotten to a really bad point where in a leaked recording on YouTube, basically his mother discussing how, okay, I'm just gonna play the clip.
You're severely ill.
I mean, I changed my underwear.
Dude, you're severely ill. Okay, so you took off poopy underwear but didn't clean your butt or anything and put new underwear on and put the same poopy shorts on and went to bed.
I didn't think my shorts were that bad, though.
You have a severe mental illness. It is worse than I even thought. It is bad. You need psychiatry. You need help. Like, big help. I mean, you are fucking losing your fucking mind. It's getting worse. You were doing better in high school than you are now. I don't know what to do, dude, but if I could smell it when you left. I could smell that you pooped. You smelled like poop. And so then I was like, are you wearing the same fucking...
You know, if I really could turn this into Corona, I really would, but I don't like alcohol, so... Why in the fuck would you keep your goddamn underwear where you shit in?
Disgusting!
Hygiene is very important, and the fact that you shit yourself and then say, oh, I'm just gonna replace the underwear anyway. It's one thing if it was a fucking accident. I think another thing too is that it actually got to a point to where he's run away multiple times from home.
Hey guys, it's the Shadow Wolf here. So me and my owners got into a fight today, and I'm walking up to a place that I know, and I just want to say, you know, I got into a fight with my owners because they started calling my friends stuffed animals, and then I started getting all mad and pissed off.
One of the times where he actually did run away from home, he actually mentioned that his parents had so-and-so said that he's gonna get raped, while wishing that they would get raped.
Hey, Simp Lord. I am so mad at my fucking humans right now. They said that, you know, something about me getting R-worded, and then they're mentioning, like, my girl part would hurt because a guy would get more than one guy to, you know, gangbang on me, and it fucking pissed me off. They can't fucking accept me as a fucking boy, and I'm outside ranting because I need to let it out. I don't want to be home anymore, and I don't want to live with my humans anymore. I fucking hate them. Men can get R-worded too, and they can get raped too. And yes, their thing would hurt too, because of everyone sticking it in there.
The mother has spoken out quite a few times between comments and actually personal text messages, which people have gotten in contact with the mother, saying that this is something that's been happening very often, and they've been trying to get this dealt with for a very, very long time. Recently enough, he's actually moved out of his parents' house. May 2025. The most recent thing which has come up is apparently he tried to kill himself. I'm just gonna show one thing, and it's gonna be important. Suicide hotline number.
We're going to 988lifeline.org.
Get yourself some help. Now, I did actually interview Preston on this entire thing of his relations with Mr. Metal Doggo, and there's quite a lot. Mr. Metal Doggo, exclamation, take one.
I've known Mr. Metal Doggo ever since I was part of one of Dakota's live streams talking about a Paw Patrol story. I was originally just seeing him comment a bunch of stuff about how Dakota doesn't seem to care because he didn't give Dakota any attention. He then went to his own channel and made a video talking about how Dakota does not care about him, and I made a comment indicating that he would eventually, like, come to conclusions or assume things about Dakota, and eventually he would block me. Months later, he would come back to my life, and he would try and be friends with me. And for a while, we had
pretty good friendships going, but he was very insecure to the point where I had literally gone through life events and had been interrupted to be on the phone with him for multiple hours trying to convince him that I cared. There was one incident where I was at my uncle's concert because he was performing with his band Driveline in my hometown for a festival honoring firefighters. And for 3 hours straight, I was on call with him trying to convince him that I cared about him. Even on the drive home from that event, I was on call with him. Eventually, we came to an understanding, and he would say that he fully understood that I cared about him. The next day, however, he would immediately say that he felt like I didn't care about him. So that was 3 hours wasted. There was also one night where I was staying at my grandmother's house and we were arguing about some like animation character or whatever. He and I would get into screaming matches while I was staying the night at my grandmother's. And I felt awful because by the time the call ended, 2 hours in, I was profusely apologizing to my grandmother because she did not deserve to hear me swearing and yelling and screaming from like a room away from where she was at in the kitchen. And there were multiple times where he would call me saying that he ran away from his home and wanted me to fly all the way to California from the state that I lived in, Ohio. And he often had a lot of conversations about living with me and how I would help him with job stuff or buying things for him, taking him to movies, whatever. Eventually, it would culminate when I would post a story about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and how excited I was to go see that movie. He would indicate that the story made him sad. And I got frustrated saying, how the hell did that make you sad? And when that happened, he immediately freaked out. And even going into the movie, he was like, I can't enjoy the movie because you cursed at me. And for months afterwards, he would question me, get in some kind of contact with me, but I never answered him. And at one point, he would even ask me what happened between me and one of my past editors, Delphi Lilly. I would not give him any of that information because it was personal. And since then, I have not been in any kind of contact with him. I was on one of his streams where he talked about getting his high school diploma. And when I was getting my high school diploma, and a couple days later I would get my associate's degree, liberal arts transfer, he would scream and yell at me about some random thing that I don't fully remember. I would probably have to go through all the screenshots of texts that I sent. But it wasn't until I told him that I was going through a graduation ceremony that he actually stopped arguing with me. And I even remember my family members seeing that I was still texting this guy. And they all told me, just put your phone down and enjoy the day. It's your grad day. But if there's anything that I guess I could add, it's that he was never confident in himself. He was always insecure. And he always asked if a towering werewolf would be his friend, or Rocket, or any of these other characters, things, whatever. And I don't downplay his autism, but considering that I have autism myself, it is a straight up insult when he is talking about the fact that he is getting bullied at work, and he's all like, I'm standing up for other workers, because there was one moment where I was simply distracted with my phone and being on it, that I forgot to help someone with their alcohol check. and they sent a letter to the president saying that they would not come back to the store until I was fired. My coach came in and helped me, said they would not fire me, and my coach was very understanding and empathetic towards my disabilities. And as a result, I am learning to be a better worker. So forgive me if I only feel just slightly empathetic at most.
Do I feel sorry for William Afton? I feel more sorry for William Afton more do I do for Mr. Metal K9 for the fact they treated Preston like shit. I also almost forgot to mention that he was also almost arrested as well. He was almost arrested. Like, he's called 911 multiple times, and they were almost taking him in multiple times. And he kept running away from home and everything, and he was almost arrested recently, like a couple months back. The big thing about this whole thing with Mr. Metal Doggo is, like, the big thing is that clearly he's in a very bad state of mind. And clearly, I think whatever he's trying to do is he's trying to get himself in this mindset of, like, I don't need to work, I just need to imagine myself as a dog. And take note, this isn't even a case of, like, oh, like, totally just, like, going out of his way to just, oh, imagine and then just work a normal human life. He's just trying to do this all the time, trying to get sympathy baited and, like, being like, oh, you don't love me. It went as far as Party Plan Preston posting a post for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and be like, I'm sad that you're watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Preston just getting pissed off at him.
Why?
It's honestly pathetic. It's pathetic because it's the big thing of, like, you're trying to imagine something you're not. And you're not even being like, oh, I'm a furry, which you're too committed to the bit as being a furry if you're doing this. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, when I dealt with his bullshit in 2019 and 2022, it was honestly pathetic. Like, it was really pathetic. I mean, it's the one thing of, like, you're trying to get sympathy bait, and I mean, I don't know if they're alive. They could be dead right now, which is sad to say, but you're fucking pathetic for not getting mental help. That last bit, honestly, is probably a bit much. But I'm just hoping they're alive so they can get the mental help. The one thing to me is just they're way too committed to the bit of, like, just doing this shit. And they're 25 years old. 25 years old. So, 25 years old, trying to act like a dog, saying they are a dog, their owners are fucking awful, while he's shitting himself and proceeding to just take his autism as a way to sympathy bait as well. I guess the one thing which I can give a message to Mr. Metal Doggo or the Shadow Doggo, if he says, oh, don't call me that, it's like, shut up, don't be like Mysterious Robo Shark. I'm gonna say just get the mental help you need. Like, get it. Like, actually get it. Clearly, you're not in the right state of mind. Like, I'm sorry, but just get yourself some help. Do what Morgan Wallen and Post Malone did. They got some help. So I'm gonna say thank you guys so much for watching this little video. That feels like a mess of a video if I really feel like actually looking at the edits. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later when I talk about... I'm actually not sure yet. And also, I wore the perfect shirt today, because, yeah, they're on fire.